Hi guys, first of all, I'd like to tell you that I usually don't make videos, and I was feeling so bored for last 4 days. I'm being self-isolated, and that's why the reason perhaps I thought of making a video and sharing a story of what self-isolation means and why I'm self-isolated. So two things I'll surely share here in this video is that one, why I'm self-isolated. Second, why coronavirus is following me. uh, Second thing I'll tell you first. Where I used to live here is Supertech, Cape Town, Sector 74 in Noida. And yesterday, there was news all around that one person who had a travel history to France and Spain had been found positive. Yesterday, has been taken from his building by the health authorities, uh, and his complete building has been vacated. He has been sent to the isolation ward. Those people who used to live in his building has been shifted to other which is newly built in my society, and the complete society has been locked down. So we have been told to not step out of our homes. Health officials have been warning us constantly, and they have been asking us to not to step out. And that's what since yesterday I have witnessed scenes over here. People are aware of what they need to do and what they should not. Perhaps yesterday as well, when this story came out, there are different scenes that I've witnessed first time in my society. Is that at 5 p.m. around, everyone came out in their balcony, and they cheered, they banged their thalis, they whistled, they played different instruments just because the health officials have been doing fantastic job. They have been sanitizing the whole society, and they've been requesting people not to step out. It's Sunday today when I usually see those parks completely filled with kids, but today there is no one. Also, today's Janta curfew, as Prime Minister has requested not to step out of the homes. So people are well aware of the fact that they should not get out, otherwise they could get infected because of corona. Why I am self isolated? So it's been 4 days. I am completely self isolated. I've completely self isolated myself. I've not been stepping out of my flat. This is the room which I am living in, and for 4 days I've been not going anywhere. Why I am self isolated is something which is very interesting. uh, so I'm a journalist, and I covered a lot of corona stories. So there was one story from one hospital. That's a complete negligence on the part of hospital authorities, and I went there. I didn't knew that what is going to happen, but because of our job, because of something that could be a concern for a lot of people, I went there. So what the hospital authorities were doing is that they were not taking care of the suspects. So one suspect was there in that particular hospital, and he was roaming around in the entire hospital complex. He was a suspect. The reports have not came at that point of time. He could be positive or negative, we didn't knew. But and I also didn't knew till that point of time that is he a suspect. From the family members of that particular patient, when I had a word, I asked them suddenly that where is the patient, is he in the coronavirus ward? So they said no, here is the patient. And I was like completely shocked to hear that. I suddenly went on to the chief medical officer over there, and I asked her that one of the corona suspect is just roaming around, and how can hospital authorities let him do that? He should be completely isolated in the ward. So they said that they are not following us. So I told them to lodge a police complaint or something, or put a lodge a complaint of absconding, something like that. They need to do it, otherwise he will infect others as well. Might be, could be negative or positive, new. I myself did not came in connection with him, and I wore mask. I did all the precautions. I was sanitizing myself, and but still, for precautionary measures, since that day, I am on self isolation. I've not stepped out of my flat. I've been cooking food for my own. I've been reading books. I'm watching documentaries, but I've not stepped out, because if I do carry the virus, then it could spread others. Now, why I'm telling that Corona is following me is that from last 4 days I've been on self isolation. I've not been stepping out, but yesterday that particular news came in that just 3 buildings away from me there is one coronavirus suspect, one corona patient which have been found positive, and I was like, what to do now? This entire society has been locked down. Nobody has been stepping out of their homes. The health officials have been doing fantastic job. They've been sanitizing the whole society. But for the precautionary measures, I am also in self isolation. Till now, touch wood, nothing has come up yet. There are no symptoms. I'm not feeling pain. There is no body ache. There is no headache. There is no fever, and there is no cough, cold, nothing. But still, for precautionary measures, I am on self isolation. I'm not getting in touch with anyone, and I will follow this for another few days as well. The daily needs is something that is very necessary, but still, because I might be carrying virus, and I do not want to infect anybody else, I am not going out. Whatever is there in my flat, I am just utilizing that. And health officials are still, I can see, roaming around outside the balcony. They are constantly sanitizing the whole society. So till tomorrow, we've been told that the society will remain locked down, but the situation is much tense. So after that, yesterday, more flats, so the health officials visited each and every flat, and they asked about whether I have a travel history, whether I have some kind of symptoms, or whether I have got in touch with any corona patient suspect. So I told about my history, and there are 17 other flats that are under scanner. The news that came in to us via the WhatsApp group of the society to me, that 17 flats are under scanner and they have been completely quarantined. So, yes, I have been self quarantined. I'm on self isolation, and that is the message I also wanted to share with you all. That do not take risk. If you have a slight, a minor possibility of carrying a virus, then please be self isolated. In Italy, what happened is, from they were taking it so lightly, and from where the coronavirus went to where, we all know that. And in India, where there are so many illiterates, there are dense population, there are so many people who are living in slums. If coronavirus reaches to that level, then it could be huge. And for that, as a responsible citizen, one should be self isolated. There is no need to go out. In case any emergency only, people should step out. Otherwise, I will be urging all of you guys to be self isolated, be at your place. It's so boring, but still, as a responsible citizen, we need to do this for our country, for the safety of others as well as for us as well. And by this only India can fight back from corona. Thank you. Be safe and be healthy.